Okay, here we go.
Lovely, got it.
Rolling, quiet please, when you're set.
We really did want to do a promo video that was just so different to anything else that anybody has ever done.
I think it's a real game changer for the band when we decided we wanted to make this epic video. We wanted more than 3.5 minutes.
It's a bit like Marmite, you know, people will either like it or they'll completely hate it because they don't know what it is, you know, so.
We wanted something different and something special, and I feel like these 3 songs and the way we've put them together in the video just best showcases Bulsara and his Queenies to the world.
I think it best represents everything that Queen is within about 7 minutes.
Being a Queen fan from the age of like 11 years old, really. I've known Tenement Funster and Flick of the Wrist and Lily of the Valley. I've known these songs for like quite a long time.
Been amazing, the people next door.
They've flowed really nicely. They've got Paul on vocals first, which is like, you don't expect it. Then you've got Gareth comes in halfway through, and then there's a ballad, and it's a nice mix of everything.
It's their early sound and it's, I mean, they've got the harmonies vocal-wise, and then obviously they've got Brian May's distinctive guitar tones and everything, and then as well as that at the end, we've got the song Lily of the Valley, which is almost like a choral piece. So I think that's why we picked them songs off the Sheer Heart Attack album.
I think they offer everything that Queen ever were in them 3 songs. It's almost undescribable how good it is musically.
I think these 3 songs really do stand out on Sheer Heart Attack because, of course, they're played continuously without a break. It's like almost like one kind of continuous 9-minute piece of music. Tenement Funster for me, I know it's obviously written by Roger and sung by Roger, but for me it describes a cool, young, rocky, angry teenager.
I think that song is a song of adolescence. It's like rebelling, you know. A lot of the lyrics are basically, he doesn't care what anyone thinks about him. He's happy to be the way he is. He's happy to attract women. He's happy to drink. He's happy to, you know, be that sort of outspoken person. So you try and channel as much of Roger as you possibly can. You know, which is a lot of fun.
When it gets into Flick of the Wrist, that's when it gets really exciting. There's just vocal harmonies everywhere. There's all sorts of kind of dark and mysterious lyrics, and it's just something to really have a bit of fun with.
I really enjoyed the bits in Flick of the Wrist where we were just actually playing our instruments. It just felt like a gig. It felt more natural than any of the other parts.
We love how there are kind of Iranian or Arabian influences to those scales, to the scales in Brian's playing, and to Freddie's obviously piano parts. Freddie wrote the song. We love that.
I arranged the harmonies for all 3 songs, but Flick of the Wrist has to be one of my favourites in terms of arranging because there's so many kind of clashing, crunchy harmonies in there, and they're my favourites.
Lots and lots and lots of different flavours and spices.
That moment when you see Gareth really for the first time with the eyeliner going on, and that moment between the first Gareth and the second Gareth, it's just captivating.
So it's trying to make that link between the fan and the musician.
A friend of mine is Phil, and he was given like the brief of kind of coming up with a narrative for the video, and it was really difficult, I think, you know, because we don't dress up, we don't look like Queen, we don't play all the obvious songs, we play the deep cuts, the album tracks. You know, there was a moment where he completely got what the band was about. And he said to me, if you weren't in Bulsara and his Queenies, you would be their biggest fan. And I just thought that is absolutely bang on. And it's true, it's true. If I wasn't in this band, I would be their biggest fan. I'd follow them everywhere because I just love everything about what they do. So the narrative of the video, I think, is that. And that's why we see a fan who, you know, sees the video, and we had to be quite careful that it didn't make it look like it was Gareth, the singer of Bulsara and his Queenies, just watching his own video, and that was a difficult thing to get over. And I think we've done it right, and Phil's just done a fantastic job.
Shooting the video on the day was really awesome.
We only had a short amount of time to get everybody's hair and makeup done, so it was sort of hairspray over here, brushes over there, absolute madness. And then on stage,
spent a lot of time in hair and makeup. That was exciting, you know, we've never had that kind of attention, that kind of pampering before. I personally really enjoyed it, you know.
we had 3 fabulous ladies on set. We had Fiona, who was head of wardrobe, Emma, who did the hair, and Bianca, who did the makeup. And they were all just wonderful, like they were right there, knew exactly what needed fixing every step of the way, and were just fabulous to work with as well, really nice people.
We were shooting for 12 hours, 13 hours straight.
It was a long process. We had such an amazing crew, really, really talented, motivated, highly skilled.
Obviously there were a lot of cut shots, us being filmed individually, us being filmed as a band. I mean, it was my first time doing anything like that, so I was sort of a bit taken aback by how much work goes into these things, because you see them on the telly and you just think, oh wow, you know, that's great. Whereas for us, we realised just how long it takes and how, you know, much effort and time and people go into it, really.
The whole day was just one massive, like, day in the gym, basically, under those lights, doing all that stuff, and your brain's going, you have to concentrate, you have to remember what you did the last take, and
concentrating, trying to get in sync with playing to the track.
Usually a 3-minute pop video takes 2 or 3 days, so we were really up against it, and that's why there's a lot of preparation involved. You just gotta be professional about it and just keep doing it over and over and over again. Lily of the Valley, I guess it's a song about hope, loneliness, but also unity, strength.
I feel like it's a very poignant song. It's almost ethereal and you have to sort of listen to every word that Gareth is singing.
I really enjoy singing it because it's so delicate, and there's a bit in the song which goes from like being really, really delicate to just full on Freddie power. It's just a technique that I really look forward to.
Looking back on it and how it looks on the video, it was definitely my most enjoyable moment, and it was in Lily of the Valley where we do the sort of V shape, and you can just see the sort of the sides of our faces. We were at the end of the day and we were all absolutely shattered, and you have to stand still.
You don't even realise how hard it is just to stand still for 2.5 minutes or whatever it is.
It was hilarious. For such a solemn song, I think we were all in stitches trying to record this thing. You have people kind of going forwards and backwards all the time. You have me that's like nearly on the floor because of my shoes.
You stood there and you're just rocking backwards and forwards and your legs are just killing you. It's really hard.
Gareth's like staring into this camera and trying to be like really solemn.
By that point, I was sort of swaying back and forth.
And then we had to do this thing where we all walk off in pairs, but because you're back to back, you can't really feel where the other person is or when they're setting off. And you'd think that a group of musicians could walk off in time, but we found it so difficult. I think we had to do it about 10 times to get it right.
But it was worth every second, loved it.
yeah, I just really enjoyed just being with the guys and Danny, and just, you know, we all just hung out and just had a good time and had a laugh. But I think like that's probably the best part of it.
There was one point in the filming we were getting a shot of Rob, Dan and Steve, and it's in the Flick of the Wrist solo. And I was just sat on the floor looking up at these 3 musicians, and I thought, wow, you know, these guys are really talented. How amazing is this? And it was the first time that I'd really been that audience member, and it was almost like I was a fan of Bulsara and his Queenies, and it was just a really nice way to kind of round off the whole day.
Absolutely brilliant.
Awesome to be a part of, to be honest.